Few things are as synonymous with Texas barbecue like a good slab of pork, spare ribs, smoked of course, and well, a cold bottle or can of Big Red soda that is. And well, today I am going to whip up what I think is going to be the rib recipe of the summer. And I couldn't be more excited. So without further ado, let's jump into the video. All right, barbecue family, we got a lot to talk about today, but I just wanted to note this video, it was inspired by my good brother, Brian Destin. He sent me a box of these quesada barbecue pigs. More about these later, but once I got this box and I knew I had to whip up something special. So that was the genesis of today's video. And again, I couldn't be more excited. All right, so check this out, fam. I have, of course, done many rib videos and talked about different aspects of cooking ribs many times before, but I'll touch on kind of the key things that I think are important when it comes to cooking ribs. You know, some of the fundamentals that are always worth mentioning, which is first, I kind of take out that skirt underneath. I like to pull it out just to get an even cook. I'm gonna leave the membrane on. I'm cooking on a backyard smoker that has great convection, so no need for me to remove the membrane. And then that's it for that bottom side. And next from here is kind of up to a cook's discretion. So where you get your rib tips from are on the top of the rib here, and Sam's Club removes most of that. Now, what I like to do is take a little bit more off. What I'm rolling with for these is gonna be kind of a hybrid between a Texas style whole spare and a kind of a St. Louis spare. So I just hack that off, and then from here, all I'm gonna do is flip this over and kind of decide how far into the ribs I wanna go. Now, on the tail end of this thing, you kind of got some cartilage, you got a bone that didn't grow all the way in, it kind of wants to be a bone, but it's not. So I come up in and around that first real rib, which for this is probably somewhere in here, and I just kind of round that out like so. That, to me, family, is a beautifully trimmed slab of ribs, and I'm just gonna come in here and round this edge off like that. And that's it. That's it, family. That is our trim slab of ribs, and they look darn good. So from here, because it's a little hot outside, we're getting into summer and I love it, the surface of my ribs are drying up on me. So I'm just gonna hit these. This is just water and apple cider vinegar. And this is what I use to spritz my ribs during the cook, but I'm just gonna hit these like so, just to get them tacked back up. Now on the bottom, I'm going just pork rub, not pepper. I don't need the pepper on the bottom. I just want enough salt there so that when you take that bite, your tongue hits the salt, it registers flavor, and then most of the seasoning and the bark is gonna come from the top. This is a pork rub that I'm formulating. I'll leave a link in the description. Just drop your email in that link, and then you'll get access to download V1, version 1 of this recipe. I'm iterating this recipe because I plan on bringing this to market soon. So I'm a couple versions past what you'll get in that link, but it's a great base, guys. So if you want to get really close to this, download that recipe and just tweak it as you want, guys. It's just a really basic, simple, savory, dry rub that I'm formulating for ribs, like I said. And the idea with a rub, at least for this rub specifically, is I don't want too much sugar. I don't want to go too sweet. I just want it nice and balanced. That's kind of how I like to do ribs personally these days. I get my sugar, I get my sweetness from the sauce, and we'll talk about that later because our good friend, Big Red, is going to be the base of a delicious sauce that I formulated, and I'll give you guys the recipe to that too. So we're just having fun, guys. We're having fun. Hit that again. All right, so on the top, this is where you make your magic, my friends. This is where the art comes out. So the rib that I'm chasing is a nice light pepper bite with a beautiful deep red mahogany. And I get that by just ever so slightly hitting the top of this with pepper. And then I'm going pretty heavy with my pork rub. You be the judge of how much you do or don't want to apply, but this is where a lot of that color's coming from. My goodness. Gosh, I love the color of that. That looks magnificent, guys. Check that out. There we go. Ribs are done. Off to build a fire. When it comes to lighting fires on backyard smokers, I'm a big proponent of just taking a chimney, lighting it about a quarter or half of the way with lump charcoal. This is briquette because I was out of lump, but light it with lump charcoal and then just dump it in. And for me, I get asked all the time, where do you get your wood from? What kind of wood do you use? So I'll just talk about it here formally. These splits are from Chief Firewood. So I use Chief Firewood almost exclusively unless I'm going out and harvesting my own wood. But that's a multi-year process to get that wood ready to roll. So when I need wood now and I need it today, Chief Firewood is my guy. So he sells these backyard splits. He has no idea I'm talking about this. This is not paid or sponsored or anything, but these are the best wood splits on the market, period. Straight post oak, straight from Texas. So I take, these are about 8 inches, 8-inch splits, and I just Lincoln log them in here just like this. And I have a fire management masterclass that I've dropped at this point a couple years ago, and I explain this process in depth, like really in depth, but I'm just gonna Lincoln log this just like this. And I'll take one more split, put it right on the top like so. All right, our ribs are on, and all I did was just scoot them closest to the smokestack as I possibly can. I put the bone side towards the firebox, and then what I did is I opened this smokestack up about half of the way. This is open half of the way because what I'm gonna do, my methodology for ribs, at least it is these days, is I'm gonna do a cold smoke, but a little hotter, meaning I'm gonna start this fire at about 200 degrees. So we're sitting at about 150 right now, and over the next 10 to 15 minutes, I'm gonna climb my temperatures up to about 200. Now, it's 12 o'clock on the, actually, what time is it? It's 1 o'clock on the dot. So I'm only 4 hours behind, and that's cool, but it's 1 o'clock on the dot, literally. So from now to about 1:30, I'm gonna climb these temperatures from 150 to 200. And then from about 1:30 to 2 o'clock, I'm gonna let this smoker sit right at 200 degrees. And the idea behind that is I want this fire to pump off more smoke. So the reason why I have the smokestack open halfway and not all the way is because I'm gonna try to slow that fire down, and I'm gonna try to choke off that fire just a little bit to give me extra smoke, because I want that color early on. I want that bark formation early on. And then most importantly for me, I want to dry the surface of my ribs out, because I'll show you guys in a little bit, but I play this odd game of drying the surface out and then adding moisture with my apple cider vinegar and water. And so I'm constantly playing that game. That's the plan now, guys. I'm gonna let this roll for about 30 minutes, and I'll see you guys back when I got more of the color that I'm looking for. I love barbecue so much, and I love you guys so much. Appreciate you for all the support. And if you like what you see so far, do what you feel most inclined to do. I won't ask you for a subscription. All right, see you guys in a little bit. We're 4 hours in and our ribs are looking absolutely magnificent. I got the color that I'm looking for, I got the bark formation that I'm looking for, and most importantly, I got the fat render that I'm looking for. Now, something that I do when I cook ribs is I kind of flip them over. I 180 them throughout the cook just to make sure that I'm getting the membrane cooked to edible texture. We've all had a membrane that's left on a rack of ribs. It's a little too rubbery. So on backyard smokers, I like to flip my ribs over just to get both sides and even cooked. Lastly, I've been spritzing my ribs with a 50-50 mixture of apple cider vinegar and water. That's most important to me because I want to be able to add back moisture as I need. You can tell you're cooking your ribs a little too hot and they're getting a little too dry if you get splitting on the top of your ribs. Like almost everything, it's possible to overdo it. So all you want to do is just spot check your ribs. If you have a patch of rib, or maybe the whole thing is getting a little too dry, just go back in, spritz some apple cider vinegar and water or whatever you want to spritz on top of it, add that moisture back in. And then in case you're curious, I've been running about 275 degrees this entire time. Like I said in the beginning, I built my temperatures up to about 220 over those first 20 or 30 minutes. And then from there, I started to climb over the next 30 minutes. From there, I started to climb to 275. So it took me an hour to build my coal bed and build my fire up to about 275. And that's where we're rocking and rolling. So I'll roll at 275 from here on out. But we're getting to the point now in the cook where it's time for me to prepare my sauce. And we'll get these ribs finished off. Let's do it. Now, any proper barbecue sauce, in my opinion, it starts out with a ketchup base. In the Big Red Pig Glaze, it's no different. So we're going in with some ketchup, and then I follow that behind with some honey for a little bit of those sweet and earthy notes. And then right behind the honey, we're upping the sweet with a little bit of brown sugar. If that wasn't enough for your sweet tooth, we're going back in with a little bit of white sugar, granulated white sugar, just for more of that pure kind of a sugar punch. After that, we got apple cider vinegar. Now, I want to touch on the apple cider vinegar just a little bit here because we're starting to add liquid now, official liquid into the barbecue sauce. And just very briefly, guys, this could be apple cider vinegar, this could be white vinegar, this could be a mixture of the two. You can see that I'm following the apple cider vinegar up with, this is a half a cup of water. And again, you can substitute the water for white vinegar if you want just a little bit more of that tang, that vinegar punch. But for me, I just wanted to run it nice and smooth, so I kept it at apple cider vinegar. From there, the Big Red Pig Glaze could not be the Big Red Pig Glaze without some Big Red. Guys, synonymous with Texas barbecue. Big Red, honestly, is my childhood. I used to drink this stuff when my mom was at the salon getting her hair done, all the way to family cookouts. Big Red, it's a classic, and it's the heart of this barbecue sauce. And then we're going in with some Worcestershire sauce, followed by some coarse ground black pepper. It is so important, guys. Please do not put table grind black pepper. Don't put the thin stuff. You want to go a coarse black pepper. From there, we're going chili powder. We're going granulated onion. We're going smoked paprika. And then for me, I added some of this red pepper jelly. Mix and match, family. You can go red pepper jelly. You can go jalapeno pepper jelly, whatever fits your fancy. Family, I could not be happier with how this recipe card turned out. My brother Brian and his team knocked this thing out of the park. And the box is just magnificent. And of course, the cigars. Quesada, barbecue pig. What a delicious cigar. Everything Brian does is truly top notch, from the rare and vintage cigars that kind of start at Privado Cigar Club all the way out to what he's built now, which is, I would say, it's probably, in my opinion, it's the most premier cigar subscription of the month club that exists. These are not talking notes. He didn't tell me what to say. He just said, hey bro, how can we put heads together on a cool experience for the barbecue and the cigar community? And I said, Brian, I got just the idea. Let me blend a really good, solid barbecue sauce. We'll stick it on a graphic, stick it inside a Quesada barbecue pig box, which is, again, a delicious cigar, and folks will get the card and the recipe. And so recipe is going to be in the description as well. Snag you a box or snag you a couple Quesada barbecue pigs. It's such a hard cigar to beat, guys. It's got those sweet molasses undertones, got that kind of charred oaky flavor going on with it. And then for me, in the back, like once it sits on your palate in the back, I get a little bit of that spice, and then it's followed by kind of a graham crackery, kind of bready note with some kind of deep vanilla undertones. So I love it. It's my jam. It's my kind of cigar. And what else can I say, guys? Grab you a cigar, enjoy it, and support our brother Brian over at Privado Cigar Club. We made it, barbecue fam. We made it. We are exactly 7.5 hours on the dot. 7.5 hours it took to cook these ribs, and look at them. They're beautiful. Bark is set in deep. It's gonna have texture. It's gonna have just a little bit of crispiness that I like on a bite. I'll show you guys how I soften that bark up in the foil wrap here in a second. And then in addition to that, it's got that deep dark color. Now all I'm gonna do is sauce these bad boys up with our freaking Big Red Pig Glaze that we made, that I'm so excited about. I wish I could bottle this bad boy and bring it to the market, but you guys got the recipe, so you can make it at home. So I told you guys in the beginning of the video that I'm going to sauce these at the end. So all I'm gonna do is take this pig glaze just like this. Whoa, splatter, collateral damage. And here, let me flip it over and show you guys. So look, I cut this with water. This was cut with water. About 70-30, somewhere in there, just to thin it out just a little bit. You can cut it with apple cider vinegar. You can cut it with white vinegar if you're chasing more of a punchy sauce. But the way that I made this sauce, guys, is you know, have it your way. Add to it, subtract from it. But guys, look at this. Look at the glaze on this. Look at the color. That is going to finish beautifully. So from here, wrap it tight like a Christmas present. And these are just gonna go back on the smoker. My smoker's holding at about 150 degrees. If you have a warmer, throw it in the warmer. If you have an oven, throw it in the oven. All I wanna do is just let these rest. I say rest because I'm not resting them at room temperature. I'm actually resting them just a little bit warmer. And they don't need long, guys. 20, 30 minutes at minimum. Maximum, I've held ribs in a warmer at 145-ish degrees for 8 to 12 hours. So back in the smoker these go. I'm gonna wrap up this other slab, and then I'll see you guys back when I eat. I'm gonna eat this entire slab, let's just be honest. Well, family, nightfall is upon us. However, our ribs, they're done. And boy, did they look amazing. Do they look amazing? Well, I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. Guys, our Big Red pig glazed Texas style smoked spare ribs. Dude, I'm excited. That's all I know. Check this out. Here we go. Oh my Lord, have mercy. Lord have mercy. I mean, I'm just such a happy camper. That's all I know. Let's eat this. Here we go. Oh yeah. Here we go. Come on, baby. I mean, if I had a barbecue tray, I could just set this right on that tray. Okay. Wow. Guys, check it out. Here we go. Bottoms up, fam. Oh, that's a rib. Oh, that's a rib, guys. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's good. Okay. 1 second. One more bite. Just got to make sure. Here we go. I'm going for this. I'm going for this guy right here. Wow. Okay. I mean, come on, guys. Come on. What else is there for me to say? Shout out Brian Destin with Privado Cigar Club. Thank you for sending me that box and being the genesis for this entire thing. So shout out you, my brother. Guys, make the glaze. I'll drop the recipe. Snag you a box of Quesada barbecue pig if you're a cigar smoker. And yeah, guys, subscribe to Privado. Subscribe to Meet and Greet. Support guys who are keeping it real, keeping it solid. And as always, Big Frizz Meet and Greet. Love you guys. Over and out.